A Rolls-Royce is not designed to impress you in the way other cars try to impress you, because it does not chase speed records, and it does not compete for lap times, and it does not shout about horsepower, and it does not beg for attention with aggressive styling, because a Rolls-Royce exists in a different category altogether, one where the purpose is not to dominate the road, but to redefine what it means to move through the world. Because when a Rolls-Royce passes by, something unusual happens. The sound disappears, the chaos softens, the moment slows down, and what remains is not the feeling of seeing a vehicle, but the feeling of witnessing a standard. Today, we are not talking about a brand. We are talking about a philosophy built on wheels. This is the story of Rolls-Royce, the origin of silence. Rolls-Royce was born in 1904 when Charles Rolls, a man obsessed with automobiles, met Henry Royce, a man obsessed with perfection, and together they formed a partnership based not on speed or spectacle, but on an almost uncomfortable devotion to refinement, precision, and mechanical dignity, a devotion that led Henry Royce to famously say that he would take the best that exists and make it better, and when it does not exist, design it. From the beginning, Rolls-Royce cars were built not to conquer roads, but to remove them, because even the earliest models were described as the best car in the world, not due to advertising, but because they ran more smoothly, more quietly, and more reliably than anything else people had experienced at the time. While others built engines, Royce built silence. While others sold performance, Royce sold absence. The absence of vibration, the absence of harshness, the absence of effort, and this obsession with removing disturbance from motion would become the DNA of every Rolls-Royce that followed. A car assembled, not manufactured. A modern Rolls-Royce is not produced, it is composed. In Goodwood, England, where every Rolls-Royce is built, the factory resembles less an industrial plant and more an atelier, because robots are deliberately limited, not because Rolls-Royce lacks technology, but because there are details too subtle for automation, such as the way leather must stretch across a seat without tension, or how the grain of wood must flow uninterrupted across doors, or how paint must sit so deep that it appears not applied, but poured. Each car requires hundreds of hours of human touch, during which craftspeople stitch interiors by hand, book-match veneers from the same tree so the dashboard mirrors itself like a reflection on still water, and layer paint in up to 7 coats before polishing it for hours until it achieves a depth that no camera ever fully captures. Even the umbrellas hidden inside the doors are heated so they dry after rain. Even the headliner can be embroidered with over 1,000 fiber optic stars, individually placed, each one mapped to a real constellation, each one adjustable in brightness, because even the night sky must obey the owner's preference. This is not excess, this is intent, because Rolls-Royce does not build cars for transport, it builds environments for presence. The engineering of effortlessness. What makes a Rolls-Royce extraordinary is not what it does, but how little it seems to do while doing it, because beneath its long hood sits an engine designed not for drama, but for disappearance. Whether it is a massive V12 or a silent electric powertrain, tuned not to announce itself, but to erase itself. A Rolls-Royce is not engineered to thrill the body, but to remove the body from the experience altogether. Engine mounts are engineered to cancel vibration frequencies, tires are filled with noise-reducing foam, body panels are isolated from the chassis to prevent resonance, and the suspension, known as the magic carpet ride, uses cameras to scan the road ahead, preparing each wheel for imperfections before they are ever reached, so the car reacts not to the road, but to the idea of the road. At highway speeds, a Rolls-Royce is often quieter inside than a luxury living room. At idle, many owners cannot tell if the engine is running, because if you can hear the machine, Rolls-Royce considers it unfinished. The most honest symbol in the world. At the front of every Rolls-Royce stands the spirit of ecstasy, a small leaning figure of polished metal, frozen in motion, not as a logo, but as a declaration, because unlike most automotive emblems that shout identity, this one whispers intent. She does not stand rigid, she leans forward, she does not command, she invites. She was created not to symbolize power, but grace, because Rolls-Royce has never been about dominating the road, but about transcending it. Even the grille, tall and upright, is not designed for aggression, but for ceremony, because every Rolls-Royce approaches not like a machine, but like an arrival, a car that adapts to you. A Rolls-Royce is not configured, it is commissioned. Customers choose not only colors, but concepts, requesting woods from specific regions, leathers dyed to match personal artifacts, headliners stitched to replicate nights of personal memory, and paint mixed from samples as obscure as a favorite lipstick, a childhood toy, or the color of a private jet at sunset. Some Rolls-Royce cars are finished with mother of pearl, some with woven metal thread, some with hand-painted coach lines applied by a single artist whose signature remains hidden beneath the lacquer. Because a Rolls-Royce is not not meant to reflect trends. It is meant to reflect identity. And when it is delivered, it does not feel purchased. It feels revealed. The future of the ultimate car. Rolls-Royce is now entering an era where silence is no longer engineered but natural, because electric Rolls-Royce vehicles remove even the last traces of combustion, making the brand's century-long pursuit of quiet almost prophetic, as if the company had been preparing for this moment since its birth. Electric propulsion does not change what a Rolls-Royce is, it completes it. The removal of vibration, the elimination of noise, the instant flow of torque, and the seamless nature of electric motion align perfectly with a brand that has always believed the highest form of luxury is the absence of disturbance. The future Rolls-Royce will not be louder. It will not be faster. It will be calmer. A Rolls-Royce is not built to impress crowds. It is built to satisfy a standard that refuses compromise. It is a vehicle designed not to dominate the road, but to insulate you from it. Not to excite the senses, but to quiet them. Not to showcase technology, but to make it disappear. Because true luxury does not announce itself. And when you finally sit inside a Rolls-Royce, when the doors close with that impossibly soft, impossibly final sound, and the world fades into a distant, irrelevant suggestion, you realize something that brochures never tell you. It is the most complete way to exist while moving, and that is why a Rolls-Royce is not remembered as a car. It is remembered as a feeling.